Ms. Lally, I'm interested in what your assessment in reading about all of this is. The ambassador says, will Donald Trump be able to rein in a Netanyahu? Remember, last time around in that 12-day war last year, Donald Trump spoke to the press on the lawns of the White House, and he said, these two nations have been fighting for so long, they don't know what the F they're doing. They don't know what the beep they're doing. And this is the same president who's now come out and saying that that's a separate skirmish. So how do we look at that? What are some of the options that United States now has? Of course, there is the aspect of resuming to fight. Pete Hegseth says the joint forces are ready. On the other hand, you can rein in a Netanyahu, or you can also trust J.D. Vance to do his job, give dialogue and diplomacy a chance come Saturday when Islamabad Accords takes its first shape. So war crimes, using the F word, wiping out the entire civilization, we've seen some of those quote-unquote truths. What are some of the options, and what can Americans now do?
Use it before you lose it. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Benjamin Netanyahu for you. This war was started by Benjamin Netanyahu, where Marco Rubio was on record saying, and I quote him, Israel was going to initiate this war and Iran would have attacked our assets, hence we have to go in for this war, quote close. Now allow me to share with you that Benjamin Netanyahu for 40 years has been trying to convince American presidents one after the other. I mean, there is enough evidence, including, John Kerry, another Secretary of the State, saying that every time any president came into power, it was a dream come true for Benjamin Netanyahu to use the might of American military to attack Iran. Now, why? APAC, American Israel Public Affairs Committee, makes huge donations. The likes of Mark Levin, who actually put hand on Donald Trump's shoulder in a press conference and say that he's almost a Jew, if not a complete Jew. Lindsey Graham, who was instrumental in accompanying, Benjamin Netanyahu on his 7 to 8 trips in the first 9 months to the United States while playing golf, convincing Donald Trump that we have to do it. And Mossad made a case where Benjamin Netanyahu was in the war room, where normally you don't allow other
Yeah,
states
the
to
situation room, Mr. Lally, the situation room, where
the
foreign
situation
dignitaries are not
room.
allowed there.
So while I'm saying all of this, I have to say in the same breath, Epstein files has played a very big role, both in Donald Trump trying to divert attention from the Americans and to a lot of what is lying inside those files, because Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Maxwell, they were all on the Mossad/CIA rolls. I mean, when Robert Maxwell died in England, I mean, he was found in mysterious circumstances, and at his funeral, 6 past head of the states of Israel showed up and said in a very cryptic way that he was one of the biggest assets to the state of Israel. That having said that, number two, I mean, this is a war of choice. Please understand, what does Steve Witkoff or Jared Kushner know about the Middle East? Steve Witkoff is a businessman making malls in New Jersey, and Jared's only claim to fame is that he's Donald Trump's son-in-law. What do they understand of this kind of intense conflict in the Middle East, which is such a divided house? And, even Iran was on record saying that twice in the middle of our, negotiations,
I think that's precisely why J.D. Vance had to be brought in. Yeah. They said, Steve Witkoff, you're not going to be carrying out the talks. It's going to be J.D. Vance now.
Yeah, because Kabir, these are very subterranean issues. I mean, Donald Trump has a bunch of sycophants, the Pam Bondis, and look at them. What do they understand? The Pat Kessler?
All right.
They are only there because they are simply sycophants and they don't understand the complexities to what is going on in the Middle East.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that Benjamin Netanyahu is trying to do everything under his, till the time he can use and abuse the might of the American might to settle his 40-year-old dream. Kabir.
Okay.